Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo-Woo. My name is Gayle Nicholson. I'm with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, and I'm your Dragon Slayer Crone. To my side here, I have Miss Krista Ducharme from Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook, and she is our traveling crystal crone. And then supporting us from below, we have Damaris Samolinski from Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski, who is our stargazer crone that tells us all about what the planets are, where they're at, and what they're doing to us this week. So welcome. Come on in. Let us know that you're here. I see there's a magic 3 on board already. Make some comments. Tell us who you are. And thanks so much for being here. If you have an opportunity to, please share this out with somebody who you think might like our craziness, our, fun laughter, and all the little things that we talk about each week. Crystals, word power, astrology, numerology, all of those woo-woo things that the Crones know best. So awesome to have you with us. So I want to start by saying, for all of you who tried to tune in last week and couldn't find us, bless your little hearts. Thank you so much. We had an adventure. So let me begin by saying that I drove 2.25 hours to Mama Crone's house to be with these lovely ladies for the first time ever. Yep. And Mother Nature said, all right, lady, let's see what you got in you. And that trip took 4.5 hours in a nor'easter blizzard. But I was unstoppable. And I got there, what was it, like 2:00, something like that?
Yeah, you got there. Let's not focus on the time, but you got there.
So it took us 5 hours.
It took you 5 hours from New York City, right? It took
Long Island.
From Long Island, okay. So 5 hours up from Long Island, and they just had rain on that side of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time we got there, Mama Crone's house had no power.
None. Yeah.
So we had the best time ever having lunch that was brought up from Tracy Paquin's bakery that she works at. Oh my God, those
so good.
So amazing. Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. It was fantastic. And then Tanya and Ada brought up cupcakes from the Cake Don down in New York.
Yeah.
Where's that little suburb that he's in?
I think he's in Huntington, the Cake Don.
That's it. So thank you once again to the Cake Don. We did record a video thanking him, and we'll put that up on his page very, very soon. I've been on vacation for the last week, so you may have noticed nothing got done in our group.
Nothing got done.
It's okay.
I had no winner to post. I had no replay to post, and it was just like, all right, we're just going to go with the flow because this week changes everything. Everything.
It does.
Yeah. So Damaris is going to tell us all about that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
There's just so much to talk about, but we want to say hi out there to Harry. Hi, Hair Bear. How you doing?
Harry.
Once again, thank you so much for bringing up lunch. That was phenomenal. And thank you so much, Sue, for opening your home to us and making us all feel so comfortable and so welcome.
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful to be there with you.
Yep. And we actually have a live audience here where I'm at. So I'm actually not in the Netherlands, as you may be able to see from the background in my, here. I am actually in, I'm in Greenfield, New Hampshire. Yes. Oh, And the audience moved. They were in one room and now they've come back. So I'm going to turn my camera real quick because I'm going to show you who my audience is.
Okay.
Hold on. Here we go. Let's see if I can get them there.
Nice.
There we go. Oh, and there's Kevin too.
Awesome.
So that's my father-in-law, Art.
Nice, Kevin.
Yeah, and then that's Teresa, his partner.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Kevin moved. Kevin, come say hi.
Hi,
And then there's Kevin.
Hello.
Yep. Yeah. So we're actually watching. They're watching us live. So here we go. I have a live audience.
Awesome.
The pressure.
That's what we had intended to do at
Last week.
Crones last week, was to have that. I even brought extra cameras to have
Yes.
on screen.
Yeah.
We'll do that again sometime. But that was history.
Yes.
That was freaking history.
Definitely.
It was.
Definitely.
You know, that was
It
amazing.
was.
All of us coming together.
It was awesome. And it was so amazing that Gayle and Damaris and Tanya. So Gayle and Tanya were the drivers.
Yeah.
And awesome, ladies. Amazing
Yeah.
that you guys were out there driving. And so I know Gregory's not on right now, but it was so funny. After you guys left, he looks at me and he goes, Mom, he goes, I worried all night. I worried all night about them. He's like, I was so happy they got here. And then when I finally got text from you guys that you were home, I said, oh, everyone's home. And I was all lighthearted. He goes, oh my goodness.
Oh,
Thank
that was
you.
so nice.
He was like, thank you. He's like, I just worried about them.
Oh, that was so nice of him. And
I was like,
Nice to meet him as well.
yeah, he was so worried about everybody. It was too cute in any case. And he was so happy when you all got there and stuff. So yeah, Kevin's actually putting up, it's really funny. So he has his computer turning down the volume, putting it up so that Art and Teresa can watch the three of us on screen.
Okay.
Very cool. I love it. Absolutely. All righty. So what else do we want to start out with right now before we get to Damaris's segment?
Well, so we just had spring solstice yesterday, spring solstice or Ostera. So that all happened yesterday at 5:53 p.m. Was Kevin's like, it's the vernal equinox.
Yes, sir. It technically is.
Yeah. And
like science and old school religion and traditional religion and new age spirituality all has different names for the same freaking event.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, it was really awesome. So I am thrilled as I'm sitting and looking outside at about still 3 feet of snow. I'm really excited.
No way.
Yeah. Well, we're in New Hampshire at the moment. So Greenfield, New Hampshire. Wow. And there's still about, I don't know. Well, maybe it's only 1.5 feet.
No, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah. Art's like, yeah, it's about 1.5 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's still white out. It's really pretty and on the untouched part of whiteness.
Yes.
So, that's, it's about new beginnings. And it's kind of cool because, of course, and we'll get into the new moon and everything. And for everybody, I want to just touch upon, we are doing Moon and Woo next week.
Yes.
And for those of you, and I'll go over Patreon again here in a minute, but if you want to know, those who get to participate in Moon and Woo are our Amethyst Patreon members. So you want to make sure that you, if that's going to interest you, you want to get signed up with that. And we'll talk about that later in the show.
We will. Speaking of new beginnings, I want to bring everybody up to speed on something that's happening for me in my life from my choices, from all of, like we said, right now, this is like the beginning of something new, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When I get back to Vermont from this trip, I have freed up Mondays going forward for my tarot reading business. So I will be
Fabulous.
tarot appointments on Mondays from here on out. And members of Three Crones and the Woo Woo get a huge discount from my regular reading price. All right. So it's 45 for a half an hour and 75 for an hour. And that is like $50 off what I normally charge. So all you have to do is reach out to me to get on my Monday calendar. Now, that's not to say that if you feel led that you need a reading from Krista or you need a reading from Damaris, that you can't reach out to them as well. I'm just letting everybody know that I've freed up a whole new 4 days a month, possibly 5, for you to get onto my schedule personally. And this is beginning Monday once I'm back, because, this coming Monday. So now's the time to reach out for that. All right.
I like the fact that you're picking you're picking one day to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome. Yeah. You know what's really funny? I can commit to the same day.
Ooh,
I can.
fantastic.
I can commit to the same day and and you too, Damaris?
Yeah.
So how about this? All 3 of us commit to the same day.
Woohoo!
And we all can do readings for people.
Yeah.
And for me, my time will be a little bit different because, of course, remember when I'm back in the Netherlands, I'm 6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So, for me, it'd be on the East Coast from like 8 in the morning. I can go earlier, because I can do 7 in the morning. That's 1 p.m. for me. But we can say 8 in the morning until probably as late as 10:30, 11 on some Mondays. So
we do want to make sure that everybody keeps in mind that every other week we do the Moon and Woo for the Amethyst Patreon members.
That's right.
9 a.m. Eastern time. So whatever that translates into your schedule, just know that from 9 to 10 on Mondays every other week, that's already a taken slot.
Yeah, that's already a taken slot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, I think that I like that idea.
That works.
That works for me. I like that. New beginnings. We just committed to something as a group.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome stuff.
I like that.
Ms. Damaris, are you ready to go, my dear?
I'm ready. Yes.
All right.
All right. So yesterday the sun went into Aries. Today is the new moon in Aries. We have Mercury, Chiron, and Jupiter also in Aries, and also the spring equinox. So all of that energy into Aries is signaling as the sacred passage into another turn of the zodiac wheel. So it's amazing because, the zodiac wheel, every house has an aspect of our lives. So I was talking to a client yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and in my wheel, my career sector is up for like renewal, so to speak. So, for different people, it might be in different areas of their lives, right? So it could be relationships, it could be whatever, money. So for me, it has to do in the career. And so I have to work on that and sort of like make moves that I haven't made before. This whole energy of the new moon is about, and Krista put it up on the Three Crones, is about being bold and courageous and, stepping outside of the comfort zone. It also is, because of Mercury energy, which is also in Aries, is a time of reflecting on what is holding us back. What are we afraid of? What are the fears that are holding us back? Most of the times they're self-imposed. They're not, most of the times they are. We can think it's someone else, but we also attract that energy too.
Right. It's like that saying that I heard a few weeks ago. We don't create abundance. We create limitations.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
We create barriers to things coming to us that we are asking for.
Exactly. And so, it's all us. So we have to work on us. We have to reflect on what it is that's keeping us back. What are we afraid of? What is the recording, I'm going to say, the broken record, right? That keeps playing in our heads, telling us we can't. And so that's what this moon is really about, working on that because of all the other energies. And then, moving forward and committing. I'm going to use that word, committing to completing the goal from start to finish. Because a lot of times we start something and we quit halfway, or we don't complete it. So then, we become a jack of all trades and a master of none, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it that you really want? Having specific intentions, because we have to be specific, otherwise we attract what we don't want, or we bring in what we didn't exclude, so to speak. I have a friend that she wanted a relationship. She wrote down a list of all of these things, of qualities that she wanted in the relationship. And she forgot to mention she didn't want somebody with addictions. And then so she had all this list of all these wonderful qualities, but the person had addictions. He went from an alcohol addiction, and then he became sober, and then he started a sex addiction. So, addiction is addiction. So now she knows, wait a minute, I have to put at the very top with no addictions, So you have to be specific, I love that the 4 energy of today also is an Aries energy. 4 is ruled by Pluto, but is a co-ruler Aries. And so it's about building foundations, building a structure, is about committed, being committed to your goal, is about taking responsibility and ownership. It's about hard work, is about building security, stability. All that is number 4. It's also, when I look at the 4, I always think of a square box. It's about squaring away whatever we need to square away. And so sometimes we want to start something, but we're carrying baggage, and we need to square that off first. And square that off, balance it, and then start the new beginning, the new project, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of energy in Aries. And Aries, of course, is a warrior. It's but on the negative side, Aries could be destructive, explosive. So some people that are not in the right energy or right vibration can get upset very easily, can be aggressive, explosive. And those energies don't really get us moving forward. They just give us more to work through.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for that. I kind of went off on a tangent in my head because as you were talking about all this Aries energy, I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff having to do with my sister who's an Aries. And it's like,
Aries is no patience too. I just want to add, my father was a double Aries. He was a sun in Aries and a moon in Aries. The man had no patience whatsoever. And part of this, if you want to build something strong in a concrete structure, you have to have patience. It can't be done quickly, You have
to let the concrete set.
Yes. And so part of that energy is also having patience, which Aries does not have.
And I can imagine as a moon, the emotional aspect of it being an Aries. Yeah, that's where that do it now. Get it done.
Yes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, my oldest sister is an Aries, and it's kind of, it can be very interesting watching her, because she's very like, it has to be so, and I'm like, not necessarily.
Yeah.
It's hard for there's not a lot. It's too rigid, or it can be rigid and less, flexible or pliable. It's like sometimes you just have to flow with it. You can't always. It's not made out of concrete.
They an Aries is supposed to be a leader, someone that shows you the way. But as teachers, I don't think they have a lot of patience for some students, and I don't know if they make good teachers because of that.
Yes, well, you know what? I can't really say. I know my sister is an Aries and a teacher, okay, but she's a music teacher. Okay, so there is definitely a right way and a wrong way to hit that particular note. So I think it depends sometimes with what you're teaching and what the subject matter is, and how you're dealing with any given student. Because there are fields where it's like on, off, yes, no, black, white, right, wrong, and that's the way it is. And then there's, and that's the funny thing, is because my sister's an Aries. I'm a Libra. I'm like, everybody gets a say, and let's be diplomatic about things. And we are exactly opposite.
Yes.
And I love her dearly. We just have to give each other space to be how we are over here judging each other.
And aren't Aries and Libra?
Yes, we are absolutely
absolute opposites. Yes.
Absolutely. So Libra is all about relationships. Aries could be on their own. So Aries is
at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, the I, and then the Libra is the we, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Which we'll actually get into later on in my segment.
There we go. Well, it's nice to give everybody a taste.
Yeah. By the way, I love today's gemstone. I love it. Carnelian.
Well, yes. And actually, we're going to touch on what last week's was as well, because it's very important.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, for any of you who came to the group page before the show, did you see the thing that Krista posted with all of those perspectives?
Yeah.
How many times today's stone of the week came up in all of those different memes?
I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this stone was picked a year ago by who?
So the people that picked for 2023 were Kevin, my husband, Genevieve, my daughter, Sue, my mom, and Al, my dad.
Okay.
And they were the ones who picked. And they picked from the same 4 decks that we used to pick for 2024 last week.
Yep.
And so, I need to go back. I have it written down who picked, like I do for 2024 as well. But I need to look back and see who picked the stone for this particular week. I'm always amazed because it just comes up and it fits so perfectly for what we're doing.
In Tracy's little trinket box, she got one of those.
Nice.
She did? Oh, okay, cool. And by the way, if you guys don't know about Damaris and her little trinket box things that she makes, they are absolutely wonderful and designed exactly for that person. Now I have one as well, and I've gone through it with jet lag. I need to go through it without jet lag and read it again without jet lag because I read it and I'm reading it and I'm going, I know I'm reading the words, but why are the words not actually going through my brain? I'm like, what? But it's really
Take
sweet.
it home and read it.
I will. I love the one thing I did pull out because I was like, I read this. There's a fairy pendant in here, and I'm like, fairy pendant. So I found the fairy pendant that was in my box.
Isn't she cute?
She's really cute.
That's awesome. So I'm over here trying to figure out how can I copy going forward. Right? You can do this. And paste so that it can become a banner across the bottom.
Oh, well, we'll figure that out. Yeah. We'll be doing appointments, all of us. No, that'll be really cool. That'll be really, really, really cool. So your trinket boxes and then your lotions. You started doing lotions again?
Yes. So the lotions I use for emotional stuff, they're floral essences. And for any other body stuff, they're essential oils. So they're different. So for aches and pains, essential oils. For emotional stuff release is the floral essences.
Nice.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So are we ready to go to the next?
Because one of the things that Krista had prepared for us when we came together last week were these amazing little stickers with our QR code that we have tasked some of the people that came with going forth and tagging everything that they possibly can. And I know that there's a bunch of tagging going on in the New York area and Long Island and around there. I personally,
Queens.
In Queens. I personally tagged in Canada. So show us do you have one near you?
I don't actually, because I gave them all away.
I have one in my purse. I'll get it.
Okay.
So yeah, I gave them all away. And I'm like going, well, that wasn't really bright. However, it means I just need to make more. And so, and have more printed. But yeah, and the QR code works. And so, yeah, my goal is that we'll get QR codes. And then I had another sticker made, which didn't come in, but this is, and it's for computers. And this was supposed to be the gift for everybody who came and showed up. Where it's the Crones align.
Yes.
And it has our date that we all met, because we met for the first time last week. And, that was like huge history. And so it has the day we met, and that it was in Leominster, Mass. And so everybody who came, you'll be getting one in the mail or from so I'm going to mail them for Gayle, or I'm going to mail them to Gayle and she can give that to Harry. And then I'm going to mail to Damaris and she can give them to Ada and Tanya, so that everybody has one who showed up. There it is. There it is.
There it is. Hold it up just a little higher, Damaris. There you go. Awesome. So that's what we actually got when we got there. And everybody who was actually in attendance got those. And now they're getting the other ones mailed out because those didn't arrive in time.
No.
But I'm really excited about that. And if you would like to purchase any of these stickers, right, then all you got to do is...
Yes, and I actually have them. Well, some of them here with me.
Okay.
So yeah, the rest are. Oh, and Harry, look, Harry posted that he's been sticking them around town. So there we go.
I love it.
There we go. Excellent. So yes. Yeah, we have stickers, and let us reach out to me, because I'm the one who has all the stickers. And I have magnets for the crystal of the week, as well as Moon and Woo. So if you want those as well, reach out to me, because you can purchase those as well.
Yes.
And we're only in March, so they're still good.
Right.
It's still relevant. And honestly, go back and all those crystals. I mean, it's just everything. Yeah, there's a lot of good information.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Krista.
Yep. All righty. Ha! You didn't catch it.
It doesn't take much for you guys to start wiggling.
True.
It really doesn't. All right. So I'm gonna go into Carnelian here in a minute. I want to backtrack.
Okay.
To last week's crystal. And I only want to do that because it was really, it's a really important. Yes. It was aquamarine, was last week's crystal of the week. And the reason why it's so important is it's actually the birthstone for March. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons why it's kind of important, is it aligns with the month that we are actually in. But it's also one of those stones that is it's considered one that's great for communication, because it aligns with our third chakra, but it's a great emotional support stone. So if you have emotional healing, it is a great one that helps you work through that. And I bring it up because, of course, if you not maybe this week as much of what Damaris was saying, but in the past few weeks that we are going through, there's going to be a lot of emotional, I don't want to say turmoil because that's not the right word, but emotional, it's like
releasing of
shedding.
Blockages. Yeah.
Pardon?
That's a good way to put it, shedding, but I said releasing of blockages.
Yeah, and that's a good way too. It's like shedding, releasing of blockages. And so the aquamarine shouldn't be bypassed. It's a really good one to work even with us going into this new season of spring and new beginnings and the vernal equinox, Ostara, and everything else that we want to, name it as, because it is really a great, it also protects your energy as your energy. Funny enough, it's, because it's a barrel based stone. So there's flash in it, just not like the kind of flash that you would see in a moonstone.
Iridescent, but
Pardon?
It's not iridescent, but glass-like flash.
Glass-like flash, and so there's protection with that. But it really is great for breaking up that stuck energy. And I bring it up because here the crystal of the week is carnelian. And so it's like caffeine. Think of carnelian as your energy. It's a burst of energy. It is a creative stone. It gives you energy. It really helps project you forward in terms of, so you have a project you're trying to do, right? Maybe here's the cool thing. You can use the aquamarine if you're stuck. So like Gregory last night was messaging me. He's stuck on a project he's doing for school. He's writing a paper. And he's like, I'm really stuck on this at the moment. And if I had been thinking, I would have, not that he has an aquamarine, but an aquamarine is really good for getting that energy unstuck. Mm-hmm. And then what carnelian does is it takes that energy that's getting unstuck and sort of like rockets it forward.
Nice.
So,
Chiron, which is also an Aries, which is a healer, is like the wounded healer. So Chiron is helping us healing those past emotions that keep us stuck. So that's there too. So that we can move courageously forward.
And they both, and so it's very interesting because you have the aquamarine that's really good for unsticking you. And then you have the carnelian, which is also related to Leo, which is a fire.
Mm-hmm. I have a crown on my carnelian. I put a crown on top of it. I'll show you guys.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that. So but it's a really good, so think of it. It's all energy. It's all like, just like, when I need to get a project done or I need to work on something. Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's too cute. That's really cute. But yeah, carnelian's really great. I have this really amazing one at home that is on my bookshelf. And it's really cool because it has this little cave in it that has drusies in it.
Ooh.
It's a really, and it's little, it's a little cave inside, but I really like using that one. I find that one's a good energy starter. So when you're working on anything, and think of it, it's also relates to our sacral, which is your number 2 chakra. So that is all about creation. That is all about bringing things forth, birth, and all that great stuff.
Carnelian was the first stone that was ever like given to me as a crystal. Like early in 12 step, and my partner, he gave me he was making medallions into dream catchers. So what he would do is take a bracelet and twist it infinity wise, right?
Oh, nice.
And he'd put the medallion down in the bottom and he'd put a crystal up top, and then he would weave it in like a dream catcher, and he would present these medallions to people that were getting their anniversaries, right? In 12. Yeah. So he had a collection of different rocks, and he picks one up and he gives it to me, and it was orange, and I'm like, what is this? What's it for? And he says, you'll figure it out. And that was how I got sucked into the crystal world.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, but for me, it was all about overcoming, like getting past grieving of the wounds and, growing and integrating those wounds into, self-expression in life without it, being something that weighs you down, but going, hey, look at this. I've transmuted this through fire and now it's useful.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's amazing when we're able to transmute using the fire element and not get caught up to the point where it's actually burning us, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about Carnelian is that it helps give us that. It helps give us that boundary as well. So as we're moving forward. Awesome. Yeah, I love Carnelian.
Me too.
And I used to, for a while, when I needed focused energy, I had a Carnelian bracelet I wore, and it was amazing. I got a lot of stuff accomplished using that Carnelian bracelet.
Awesome. You just brought something up that I want to mention that I hadn't planned on mentioning. You see this bracelet here? At our little event last week, I bought 3 of these, exactly the same. And they are quartz hugging around amethyst and a peridot. Now, for anybody else, it's okay, that's nice. For me, these are my daughters, amethyst and peridot. All right. And quartz on both sides, right? And since wearing this past week, my relationship with both of them has healed so much.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a wonderful thing.
Really rough through this transition of my life for both my daughters. And this past week, spending time with them, all of us wearing our bracelets. Thank you so much, Sue and Class Act Imports, because that's how I got it. It really manifested healing in my family. And I'm really, really happy about that. But that's one of the ways, like Krista will talk about, like wearing that focus fire Carnelian bracelet.
Yeah.
Right. So when you are wearing bracelets of different crystals and stuff, be aware of what their properties are, because you might be wanting different bracelet today for whatever it is that you're going into than what you wear every day because you always like the same thing and it's your trademark and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that you're using your jewels to empower you. And they're not adornments, as we've been told, in order to set the out of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it is. It's really true. So I don't know if you guys can see what I have on. I have apatite on right now. Earring here. Let me see. If I do this. Okay, there. Sometimes with these cameras, it's really hard. So I have this apatite, again, Class Act Import. And she has more of this, by the way.
My garnet too. Class
garnet is amazing. I love garnet. But this apatite, so I was doing some work and cleaning, and Mom's like, that's Sue on our Class Act Imports. And she's like, hey, Krista, look at this stuff. And I kept going back to this apatite. And I mean, it was just like, it was one of those things that kept drawing me in deeper and deeper and deeper. I was just like, I was like, okay, obviously it needs to come with me. But, yeah, because for me, I've been wearing my kids like you're wearing I've been wearing my kids in my ears. I have blue topaz. I'm amethyst, peridot, and blue topaz.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you and I both.
Peridot, blue topaz is my grandson, and aquamarine is my granddaughter.
Yeah. So there you have it. I know. Isn't it amazing how that works? But I can't explain what is up at this moment with this apatite. But it's like, oh no, I need to be wearing it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing it today. And it's, yeah. Well, I'll let you know. I'll keep you guys posted. I just want to point it out and share it. Because I also have an apatite beaded necklace that I plan to add this pendant to when we get back home.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what it is, but I know that it's supposed to all be together. Yep.
So this is my piece of apatite that I carry with me for reading cards.
Oh, that one's awesome.
Isn't that
pretty?
That is.
Yeah.
And it matches your hair.
It does. Yeah, there you
You
go.
need to show everybody your hair.
Right, I got amethyst. So I have unicorn hair.
You do.
I do. I will talk more about it in a minute because it's part of today. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit
Well,
that.
it's okay. Show everyone the Carnelian. And my friend, I throw it to you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to talk
Maybe.
for just a second about the Coven of Joy on Patreon. Thank you so much to our Coven of Joy members, especially the Coven of Joy members that decided to drive through a nor'easter to come see us in person. Oh my gosh. Harry and Ada, Tanya and Sue. Oh my. Well, Sue didn't drive, but she hosted, and oh my gosh, it was a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. So at any rate,
and Tracy got our lunch.
That's right.
And Tracy. Yeah, from the bakehouse and give me a second. Begins with a B. And I'll remember the B part in a minute.
Tracy, pop in
the bakehouse.
Yeah, put the name and location of the bakehouse so that people in the area can, in Massachusetts can visit for themselves, because that food was amazing.
Really good.
It really was.
Yeah, and for that matter, so were the cupcakes from the Cape Done. I brought some of those cupcakes to Michigan, intending for, I brought them to my older daughter's house when I arrived, intending to share them with the rest of the family. They didn't make it that far. They did not make it out of my older daughter's house.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I froze one of our logos. I froze it in the freezer.
He did. He put like printable pictures of us on the what's that? Fondant. That's so cool.
Yeah, on the fondant. Yeah, that was. And not only that, he added sparkles.
Yes, he did. They were so cool. I do have pictures. I promise I will get them up later. But again, I've been on vacation this week and I have done shit. Nothing.
You've been doing family stuff.
Healing things. I've been having fun. But as far as work, yeah, that'll happen next week. Anyway, Patreon. Next week, we've got another Moon and Woo coming up. So now is the time to get in at the amethyst level if you want to be part of that. Okay. So since we had not done one for this week for the new moon in Aries, right? The next week is going to be the full moon, and it's going to be all about releasing what we've identified as our blocks to what we wanted to create with this new moon. All right. So that's a very important moon in Woo for you to be a part of, because it will help you get rid of all of those things that you have put in your way. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday, about the fact that, if we didn't create all these limitations, how boring would life be if we could literally just think something and have it occur, right? We need the challenge to get over, right? We need that hump to get over to feel satisfied with what we've done, right? We don't tend to value things that come too easy to us. Yeah. So, it's a right thing. It's a natural thing, rather, that we create these limitations, but it begs that like rut of, oh, well, this is reason why. And it occurs in a glamour, like somebody else did this and we don't have the power to remove it. But the reality is that you are created in the light and likeness of your creator, and you can do whatever you set your mind to. So, if you set your mind to limitations, that's what you can do. And if you set your mind to clearing those limitations, that's what you can do as well. And we can help with Patreon and the Moon and Woo to help you identify and work on those rituals with the flow of the moon to get those limitations out of your way and moving into who you were freaking created to be. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Okay, Harry, I love you. It was an adventure.
It sure was.
It really was. And I didn't even drive.
Well, there was a power line down on the route, right?
Yeah.
So we got rerouted over this, like over the river and through the woods area where sedans were just getting stuck, and we tried to get out and help people, you know, because I've got a pathfinder named Sacagawea. I call her Saxy. And she's ready to go, man. She was ready to pull them out. And then it shamed the carload of guys behind the guys that were like, get out of the way. Because I'm out there with a rope trying to get them out, and they got out finally and pushed the car out. And I'm like, my work here is done. Bye-bye. So anyway, all right. So let's talk today about what it is that we're here to talk about in my segment. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So like Krista, I'm going to kind of blend in a little bit of aquamarine with energy with this, because it's all about courage, right? Mm-hmm. If you can't be fearless, at least be courageous, right? Because we're never fearless. There's always that little inkling of what if it doesn't work out, right? But taking action despite that is what is required in order for you to start overcoming those limitations that you've put in place, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you something. When did you guys set this your theme? And last year, right?
Yeah,
the crystals, yes.
And then your theme was when?
My theme was actually earlier this week, but it was only for the most part on Carnelian, right? Because Carnelian is all about like letting go of the grief and getting over stuff. But Carnelian and Aquamarine both have the vibration that gives you courage, right? Yeah. Mostly Aquamarine in the throat area with the courage to speak your truth, right?
Yeah.
So Carnelian gives you that courage in the sacral area, which is the courage to take action, right? So it's not just thought, word, and deed. Literally, it is thought, word, and deed, right? It's about blending those two together, or not even necessarily together, but knowing what the properties of each of them are so that you can call on each when needed, right?
And the reason why I'm saying is because all this energy in Aries, which is all about being bold and courageous.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, again, when I was reading through all the memes that Krista had put in that post, I'm like, oh my God, it's just literally from every angle, it's all coming to the same center.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful.
That's woo showing up.
Exactly. Yep. So we've got like Aquamarine, the power to say what needs to be said. Carnelian, the power to do what needs to be done. Aries behind it all with Mercury and Chiron and all of these other
Jupiter,
right?
Jupiter expands anything you touch.
Exactly. It's time to heal this. And then boom, Pluto goes into Aquarius on Thursday. Okay. So this is literally, we step into the age of Aquarius. We put all of that crap behind us. And this is a whole new way of living that's about humanity and community.
Working together.
Yeah, working together for something better instead of
a bigger cause,
benefiting from the labors of the underneath and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So this is really a magical time. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what are those things that stop you from being passionate and bold and courageous, right? Now, I'll give you an example that kind of came up this week. And we talked a little bit earlier about how my sister and I are at the opposite ends of the wheel of the zodiac, so to speak, right? Yeah. We are absolute opposites, right? She is musically inclined. She's a drummer. She keeps a steady rhythm, and she wants to be in the back of the thing. I, on the other hand, sing off key, and I want to be out there in front anyway, right? All of that. So this week, in fact, and that's kind of what had me looking back at this relationship, because when I first got here, I went to my niece's studio, Opal Studio in Clawson, Michigan. Thank you so much, Natalie. She just finally, after being in a hairdresser for 12, 15 years, I think, opened her own studio. And so I said, okay, you're grown up now. And I'm going to put myself in your hands. I want you to, we've been talking about adding fun colors to my hair. And I've always been afraid to do that for whatever reason. And I identified what that reason was this past week. But I've always been like, no, I can't do that. Even though I love being out in front. I love the attention. I love whatever. Okay. So I decided I was going to put myself in her hands and let her do whatever she wanted to do with me. And she did a beautiful job. I absolutely love it. It's not too culture shocky. I still got my blonde and framing my face, but then I've gotten so much in the way of compliments on the colors. We've got teal, we've got blue, we've got purple. Okay. And it's wonderful. Okay. So the next night we meet up with my sister and Natalie's parents to go to Supercross together. And my sister gives me this sour look as I enter the stadium. Right. And I go to sit down. She says, I got scissors if you need help with that. And I was just like, yeah, no. Okay. And then I had this like flashback to sitting in the back seat of a car. And I'm like 4 or 5 years old and I'm singing along with the song on the radio. And my sister says to me, what did you do with the money? And I said, what money? And she said, the money mom gave you for singing lessons. Yeah. And for a long time, I thought I couldn't sing. And I thought that anytime that I thought my singing voice sounded good, I remembered that what sounds like on the outside of your head is different than what it sounds like on the inside of your head. So you can't trust your ears. Other people hear it differently, and obviously it's not good, right? So these are
Sing anyway.
Right? Sing anyway, right?
Sing anyway.
These are the little things that get in here, weevil their way into your brain and fester and become those limitations that, I couldn't go to the open mic and sing backup for Cindy. There's no way I could do that, right? I don't have a fear of being in front of an audience. Being in front of an audience singing Christmas carols, maybe. But the rest of it, I'm off key. I can't, hold a tune, whatever. All of these stories in my head because the one of our family who's musically talented said I couldn't sing very good. Okay? And she's just being a big sister, being a brat to me.
Yeah.
Teasing me, trying to, and this is a lifelong thing. How old am I? It's been 50 years since that happened, right? So it's all bullshit, people. It's all bullshit. Sing like nobody can hear you anyway.
I had that experience. I'll say it really quick. I was singing a Beyonce song, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, who sings that song?" I'm like, "Beyonce. Let her sing it." So I was like, similar to yours.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. It's okay. It's just because they're jealous because they're not brave enough to sing. That's all.
Yeah.
They're just not brave enough to let just sing. Whether it's in tune, out of tune, loud, soft, it doesn't matter. It's a freeing thing to be able to sing.
And they may not even be being jealous that you can sing and they can't. It's a bullshit sadistic thing. You take somebody's joy and shove it down their throat.
Yeah.
So don't let anybody do that to you. That's rude. That's unkind.
Yeah.
And it's abuse. All right. And if you're doing that, thinking that it's funny, fucking stop it. That's not nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's how children play with each other. That's how adults statistically try to control the happiness of others around them because they're not happy themselves. Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop it. All right. So back to being courageous and bold. This is the time to identify those things and start letting them free. Just releasing them. Just releasing them in whatever direction they need to fly off. It's okay. Because we're moving into a whole new phase this week where you get to be whatever you want to be, whatever brings you joy. And if other people don't like it, Tell them to take a flying fucking rolling donut. We don't care.
A rolling donut.
A rolling donut.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, really? A rolling donut. All righty. I'll have to keep that one in mind. Keep that
they
one in
get
mind.
road rash on their balls. So, again, back to reality. You know, you have so much potential that was created into you. All right. And now you have the alignment of the universe behind you this week to get yourself out of your way. Right. And if you need help with that, come join us in Patreon in the Moon and Woo. If you need help with that, reach out to any one of us. We now have office hours on Mondays to help you through whatever you are doing. Now, in my case, too, for example, I've been doing this for a while with Megan Greer, and we started out with reading tarot, and it's reduced down to where I'm starting to actually trust just my intuitive answers, right? Like I don't even have to consult the cards. Yeah. It's like, I heard this, I heard that, right? And that's the shift that you're going to experience too. Maybe not in reading tarot, but where you're going to start trusting the things that resonate to you, like the things that you hear, the things that you feel empathically, right? Clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. I don't know how I know. I just know. Don't do that. Right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see this accident on the side of the road and you go, oh, well, thanks for the detour, God. You know, things like that. So now you're ready to step into. And if you do need some support or some help, reach out to us, because that's what we are here about. Right? We got 3 crones from 3 different attitudes of life to fit with whatever you need at that time. All right?
Yep.
Now, let's talk a little bit about today's card of the day. And that is
the star.
Yes. Right? It's all about hope and optimism, and you can have what it is that was put in your heart to have. All right? Don't stop. Don't stop now. I do want to read to you what today's we do this through Galaxy Tarot. That's where I get that little GIF from. And I wanted to tell you what today's message is about it. Today's a new day and a new opportunity for joy. Find ways to refresh your environment and yourself. Have a long and lovely bath, tidy up your room, declutter, practice forgiveness, releasing that which no longer serves you. Make space for wonderful new things in your life. The star is a card of hope, peace, and renewal. After the destruction of the tower, the star brings optimism for a fresh start. So we have to have that destruction of the tower happening, right? Clear the land, make the space for a new thing to come into being. When the star shows up, trust in the fact that trust in the constantly changing nature of the universe. After the darkest hour comes the dawn of a new day. So all of you that are watching the news, first of all, stop.
Yeah.
Secondly, know that this is the beginning of a new day. And all of this worry and all of this stuff is passing. That was our darkest hour. You are on a healing path. Be sure to nurture both the physical and spiritual aspects of your life. Do what is practically required while at the same time visualizing an ideal future. Calmness and stillness may be required to heal completely. If you have slacked off on your meditation practice, now is a really good time to start it again. Okay? If someone in your life needs healing, the star is telling you that optimism and gentle nurturing are required. And in a creative venture, the star can be a sign of success. We'll claim that. All right. Definitely. So remember, when you're talking about all of that stuff that has gone in the past and created those limitations, remember to be gentle and kind with yourself. Okay.
Can I add the numerology to that card?
I don't have it on Galaxy Tarot. They don't do
I'll give it to you. So it's the 17th letter of the alphabet. It's Q. So quantum leap. Quantum
Nice.
leap. Yeah. So 17 is the card for the star, but it's the 17th letter is Q for quantum leap or quantum healing, which has to do with Aquarius.
Awesome. So then what is 8 as well?
8, the number 8 is the strength card.
No, not the number.
17 equals, yeah. But it has a different energy because the 8 would be related to the H, the letter H.
No, I don't mean like that. But when we do it down to 17 equals 8, what is the meaning of 8? Infinity.
Infinity. Yes,
that's where I was going with it. Sorry. All right. Okay. We've got, like all of this coming together. You can see it all happening. And we want to say congratulations to this week's woo-woo winner of the week, Tammy Moses.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. Part of the Coven of Joy, Tammy. I adore you. I know you're going through some really interesting changes in your life and stuff. So you want a reading? Let you know where things are going from here? You got one. Congratulations. For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, every week we give away a 30-minute reading from one of us 3 Crones. Okay, so if you pick me, it'll be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you pick Miss Damaris, that will be a numerology reading. So whatever reading that you want, 30 minutes, just reach out to the chosen crone, if you will, into our messenger, and you will get right on our schedule. All right. Excellent. So Tammy Moses, congratulations. You are the winner of the week. And we really appreciate you being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. All right. So I want to say thank you once again to everyone who plays a part in the success of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo, whether it's Krista, Damaris, myself, Sue over at Class Act Imports, Harry, Ada, Tanya, that drive through Mother Nature's challenges to come together and bring gifts and their presents and so on. And thank you so much. Thank you all for being part of this. We love you very, very much and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.
Bye.